M. Fletcher Brown with another artist video blog, Kicks96country.com. Our guest today all the way from the great state of Kentucky. We've known quite a few talented Kentuckians in our years. Please welcome for this first time to Kicks 96, Adam Chaffins. How are you, Adam?
I'm doing great, man. Thank you so much for having me.
All right, so you got a brand new single, King of Coal Dust County, which
right, yeah.
we are playing it here on Kicks 96. And it was one of the more interesting songs I've heard this year.
Oh, cool.
So when I was told that you wanted to come down here for a visit, I was like, yep, send him on. I want to talk to him.
Man.
Now, you're a proud Appalachian.
For sure, yes.
And I got to say, yesterday was a dark, dark day. We lost another proud Appalachian.
Indeed.
I have to acknowledge that because I'm still not over it.
No, man, it's been a very emotional 24 hours.
It has been. And I've told people with Dolly's passing, I don't think I'm going to be okay for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
So that's just where we are. But the tradition of music from that part of the world carries on in artists like you. All right. Now you lean into your bluegrass quite a bit.
For sure. Yeah.
Right? So let's talk a little bit about Adam Chaffins and talk about like growing up in Kentucky and how music found you or how you found music.
Well, music's all I can really remember. I grew up off of US 23, which is considered country music highway.
Yeah.
And I grew up, in the 90s, kind of in the peak of what is considered now the golden age of country music, and just enamored with things that were happening. I got to see, Marty Stewart and Ricky Skaggs and Billy Ray Cyrus and people like that in their prime.
Mm-hmm.
So it's always been near and dear to me. Growing up there, the influence is huge, and the idea I could move to Nashville and write songs and get to come talk to people like you one day was the inspiration I had to kind of put me through it and got me through music. And I've got to play in all kinds of different things in music. I got to play with a lot of different people, and I think all that was just was to learn how to do that to make this record that just came out this past Friday, Trailer Trash Double Wide.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of, here's the album right here.
Yeah,
get a look at that. Adam Chaffins, Trailer Trash. And this is this your second album?
This is the second one.
No, the first one was about 6 years ago, 2020, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Why the break?
Well, COVID kind of hit,
God.
And the one thing about putting out, if you put out a record, I advise not putting out your debut record like 2 weeks before a global pandemic. It's not the best for marketing. In hindsight,
we had nothing better to do but sit home and listen to music, though, right?
That's true.
You had a captive audience, literally a captive audience.
Yeah, well, we did, and honestly, I put out a single called "Now I Don't Know," and then an acoustic version of a song off that record called "Further Away," and both of those did really great and got me on some big playlists like on Spotify and stuff like that. So that really kind of upturned things, and then a year after that, I signed a publishing deal with Spirit Music, and then we kind of worked on that, and this is actually the EP. We have physicals of the EP Trailer Trash, and that came out last May and has a few songs on that. And then, Double Wide came out this past Friday with 9 new songs to make a 14-song project.
Okay. All right, well, now let's talk about everything else you are other than just this. You play multiple instruments, you produce, and you've actually written songs for other artists, like Grammy-winning artists. Tell us a little bit about that other side of it.
Yeah, I kind of look at it as one thing. I've been just so committed to the journey. There's a song on this record called "Little Bit at a Time," and it pretty much sums it up. I just feel like if you enjoy the journey, and you make that the all of it, you don't have to worry about some destination. You've already arrived at the thing you want to do.
I like that. Okay.
So I feel like every little piece I've got to do, I've got to play with a lot of my heroes, and I still write songs. And I feel like when I write a song, it kind of tells me at some point, either before it or after it, if it's for me to record or if someone else records it. And sometimes someone else jumps on it before I get a chance to, maybe.
Well, who's somebody that you've played with that you would consider a hero?
Oh man, Leanne Womack.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Leanne Womack is anytime my phone rings for Leanne, I tend to drop what I'm doing to go hang out with her.
Now, is it studio or touring?
I've done some touring with her. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you do some producing, like you produce other people?
Yeah, I just produced a record for my wife, Britt Taylor, that came out this year.
I am familiar with Britt. I think we played that.
You did. You was a song called "Warn You Whiskey," which
yes.
I also wrote that song. And
I had no idea. Yeah. Britt, you didn't tell me. You didn't tell me, Britt. Okay.
She says hello, by the way.
Yeah. Well, tell her I said hi back. Britt, great song. We love playing it. And I'm glad I have the other half of you here to learn about this. So let's talk about the single. Let's talk about King of Coal Dust County.
Yeah.
For someone who hasn't heard the song yet, go ahead and lay it on us. Where'd that song come from?
I wrote that song with Britt, actually.
Really? Okay.
I wrote it with Britt and Billy Montana, who's
we know Billy. Yeah.
Billy's a great big hit songwriter. And Billy came over to our house one day and he said, "Man, I have this idea or just a title called Coal Dust County, and I've never really got to sit down with Coal Dust County people, until he got to meet me and Britt, both from East Kentucky." And I said, "Well, what about the Queen of Coal Dust County?" And then Britt said, "Well, how about King of Coal Dust County?" And then I said, "I think I know exactly who you're talking about when you say that." And this song just fell out, man. It was just line after line with the inspiration of someone, who really was the king of Coal Dust County. And there's a few other characters up there too that kind of made their inspiration in it. And we tried to write the last verse of that song to give him a better ending than what happened to this person in real life, which would be getting apprehended at a Pizza Hut in Honduras.
Yeah, that's
agents.
I don't know, but it's still very country though to go to prison,
yeah,
isn't it?
True.
Though,
yeah.
I mean, am I wrong? It's still very country to go to prison, but
it's more outlaw though to not get arrested.
It's way more outlaw not to get away. It so much is. King of Coal Dust County is actually a really, really great song because it's one of those classic country story songs.
Yeah, for sure. And there's not a lot of that these days. And this record is just full of story songs. It's a lot about Appalachia, and it's a lot about where I grew up in East Kentucky, and the people I grew up around. And it's heavily inspired. It definitely leaned into my roots to write this project.
Well, the album is Trailer Trash Double Wide. There's more to come. There's 5 tracks on this one?
There's 5 on the EP. The whole thing is 14 songs, so this is the EP version. We don't have physicals yet of the
full project.
Full thing, but when we do, I'll make sure you get one.
You better.
Yeah.
You better. I mean, you and Britt both better sign it.
Yeah.
Say to me. So if somebody's listening to this and they're thinking that Adam Chaffins is the coolest, most interesting new artist that they've encountered, where do they go to find you on the internet?
You can find me at adamchaffins.com, ChaffINS. You can find me on the Instagram, on the Facebook. Go follow us. We'll let you know, and we're going to come back around these parts, too. We got a mailing list on there. The YouTube's a great place to listen to some music and watch some videos. We got a bunch of videos. There's a video of this is the title track, Trailer Trash, that stars my wife, Britt Taylor, and our little dog, Blue. So there's tons of stuff to check out on the internet.
All right. So if you want to hear King of Coal Dust County, we are playing it. So please call us at Kix96. We'll gladly drop it in for you. And look for a live performance from Adam elsewhere here on our YouTube channel. Adam, I'm so glad that we got to meet you.
Thank you so much for having me.
And are you in Britain, still in Kentucky, or are you in Tennessee?
We live outside of Nashville, yeah.
Right. Well, we're pretty cool. We're a day trip. You guys come on down here and see us whenever,
That's
okay?
Right. Yeah, we'll do.
All right. Adam Chaffins is our guest, and we'll see you next time on another artist video blog. Kix96country.com.
He's got the biggest house in all of East Kentucky.